You can ask about any other issues in the Ministry of Information, working together with most of you here, including your editors and executives. We managed over the past year, from 2023-2024, we managed to develop, to craft for the first time an integrated media and communications policy, which should run from 2025 to 2030. Some of the issues involved related to the media and communications policy is also about the fourth industrial revolution, social media imperialism, the importance of data sovereignty, the importance of digital sovereignty, and at the same time how best we can work together with all media houses in order to ensure, as we have always highlighted, that Zimbabwe comes first, that it is the responsibility of each and every Zimbabwean, and mainly for the media fraternity, to always ensure that we protect, advance, and defend the interests and rights of Zimbabwe. That whatever differences, whatever diversity that we have, we should always defend Zimbabwe. There are some of the programs that we've put in place, starting with the Zim Digital project, which seeks to ensure that we achieve 100% media sovereignty in our country. And the Zim Digital project received funding in the last quarter of 2024. And we believe that we can catapult television coverage from 38% to 100% within a space of 2 years. And we can also accelerate digital transformation in terms of the Zim Digital for radio from 62% to 100% within the next 2 years. So all modalities have been put in place with a steering committee that I chair to ensure that we can accelerate the Zim Digital project. At the same time, we've had a number of meetings with some of the executives and editors on how best we can deal with the challenges related to the low circulation per day in terms of the print media. We're all aware that we used to print more than 200,000 to 100,000 and to less than 10,000 daily circulation. All print media houses combined on average. That we now need to implement digital transformation strategies. I can highlight that Zim Papers is undergoing the total transformation of the institution, focusing primarily on digital transformation, behavioral transformation of management, board and staff, a cultural transformation, and at the same time ensuring that the institution is totally restructured to align with online media platform operations. So this, we expect that will come to a date of completion within the first quarter. And we are pretty sure that before April, we'll be in a position to invite the president to officially launch. The same applies with the media and communication policy, which will now go through other government processes for refinement and approval. The same also applies with regards to the tax holidays that we've offered to the media fraternity in order to support the growth and robustness of the sector. At the same time, we've adopted the heritage-based broadcasting because our language, our culture, our values as a people defines who we are. And we have 16 official languages, which also includes Kalanga, also includes Chindau, also includes many other local languages. So the primary focus is for us to be able to participate even on the digital highway, even on digital platforms, as you collect, as you gather news and content across the country, let's also support our languages. So the modernization of Montrose studios is taking place, and this will become the center of heritage-based broadcasting, where we want broadcasters, media practitioners to be able to contribute to the digital world in our own local languages, so that each and every Zimbabwean is not left behind. At the same time, been advised by our board of directors that the ZBC restructuring is also taking place, and I'm sure many other institutions, this is what is taking place. I've had an opportunity to work with a number of media organizations in our country, and that we should be able to set the agenda and the correct national narrative. And I'm also happy to indicate that the members of the fourth estate have responded appropriately in order to support nation building. We all know that genocides, wars, instabilities in other countries, it's the social media, it's members of the fourth estate. So I'm happy to announce that we've had a number of sessions together with the Zimbabwe Media Commission, which commission, in terms of the Zimbabwe Media Commission amendments, we are strengthening the legislation in order to manage the conduct of journalism as a profession, and at the same time in order to protect members of the fourth estate. Because what we want is diversity, what we want is pluralism, what we want is to ensure that with all those different views, we remain united to defend the media sovereignty of our country. At the same time, there have been a lot of cost-cutting measures. I wanted to respond to some of the media articles that I've read. Yes, cost-cutting measures where we've directed state institutions to cut down on traveling and hotels. I remember two of the institutions. One of the institutions wanted to have orientation in Nyanga at a cost of almost $50,000, yet they could not pay their employees better salaries. But they wanted to orient each other in Nyanga, and there was no basis. How do you orient each other in Nyanga when the corporation is in Harare? So these are some of the issues that we have had to deal with. And at the same time, we've put in place legislation in order to ensure that there's safety and security as we all Zimbabweans utilize digital platforms. So precisely this is why we have the Cyber and Data Protection Act. But at the same time, I've explained on the policy side the expansion of community radio stations, to which now number 14. And we've also opened up that particular area, and also the liberalization of the media sector, which has seen more registration of more institutions in the media industry. We had raised a number of issues at the commencement of the Second Republic that you had regarded IPA as draconian. And I believe we are all happy that that part of legislation has been repealed. And we will continue to ensure that the protection of journalists, members of the fourth estate, is held in high regard, and that members of the fourth estate are protected by government of Zimbabwe. You all agree with me that from the date of commencement as minister, and also before, during my era until now and going forward, that not even any journalist has been arrested or detained by the police, which shows that the new dispensation wants to work with the media. I will also go further to elaborate that we are primarily working on other pieces of legislation, which is the Broadcasting Services Act amendments, which is now undergoing parliamentary processes. We're also working on the Media Practitioners a bill which also seeks to ensure that journalism, media practice is recognized as a profession, and the support and resourcefulness structures that will be put in place as we discuss. We've had a number of sessions about this with Zuj, with Maz, and many other journalists, and we're still discussing most of these pieces of legislation. We're also in the process of developing amendments which have gone through cabinet processes and are now at the Attorney General's office in terms of the Zimbabwe Media Commission amendments, which amendments will also govern the conduct and the professionalism, the ethics and the ethos, our values as a people, so that we can report factually and accurately. So when I had these tours, we had one simple message, that I will be the minister of all media houses, that the past wars that started in year 2000 are over. The land reform program is irreversible. Let's work together to build our nation, because we have the responsibility. If a buying power, purchasing power of individuals in our country, or employees in our country, or workers, goes down because we are writing inaccurate stories, it destroys the moral fabric of our industry. It also destroys the macroeconomic growth in our country, and also destroys our industry as media. So we need to work together in order to achieve a united Zimbabwe comes first media industry, which is robust, which